Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MXGP 2020. We're going to be using Glenn Coldenhoff on the Standing Construct Gas Factory Racing team right here in Lommel, Belgium. There we are, back of the grid on the right hand side of the track, because the nature of this track starts with the left-hander. So the grid girl says it's a minute to go, Glenn checks his boots, and it's time to race. Waiting for the grids to drop, and they've dropped, it's time to go! Trying to get up on the inside of a couple of riders here, as we are well and truly on the outside. Trying to go through the middle of a few there, as Tony Cairoli takes the whole shot into turn one. Decent start from Clement de Sal Paulan as we bump the side of the track there, bit of a dirt mound. We'll continue to push forward. This is the very first time me trying Lommel on MXGP 2020. I haven't used it at all. I've tried it a couple of times previously on older MXGP games, but for Lommel on MXGP 2020, this is a brand new experience. Shout out to Frogboy for recommending this video. Of course, I've got the other track to do at some point as well, so stay tuned for that one, as Jeremy Van Horbeek is ahead of us on track, with Jeffrey Hurlings and Mitchell Evans just further up the road. Big jump from here. Oh, bit funky landing there. Not the greatest landing, as we can get a bit of a scrub into that corner there. Holding it left now to the on the left hand for quite a while. Flick it right over the berm if you have to, and then flick it left again. Good stuff so far, but this is going to be one hell of a battle to try and catch up. It's difficult learning the brand new track again. I think I remember most of this track, but there's a few corners that caught me off guard. As we jump into this particular berm now and fire across. Oh, careful of going off the track there. Don't want to be rewinded back to straight where we were earlier. Oh, big moment there as Paul Jonas comes ahead of us now. Oh, bouncing on the tabletops. Absolutely going for it. As Jeremy Van Horbeek slowed down temporarily there. So we seem to pick quite a bit of speed up there. Good stuff so far from Glenn Coldenhoff. But we are in 7th position, and 7th position is not going to quite cut it for now. So we need to really go for it now and see if we can catch up these guys at the front as we go for a second scrub of the race. Haven't been scrubbing too often, but getting better and getting used to it all the time. Jeremy Van Horbeek is in our sights. We'll be using him as a reference if we can stay close enough too. Paul Jonas is right behind us as well. He's definitely close by. I'm not sure if he's going to go for a lunge or an attack at some point. Race 1 here of Lommel. Brilliant track. I must say, after doing the video and recording the gameplay for this one, I really enjoyed it. I must say this is one of my favourite tracks. I think it's fantastic. Has a bit of everything, and I really like the surface of this one. I think it's the hard pack, I think it's called, or is it sand? I'm not entirely sure, but a great design of this track is phenomenal. I really like it. It's definitely one of my favourite ones. As we are closing in on Jeremy Van Horbeek, so it's maybe a time for a move, unless we can get close enough. Tony Cairoli still leads this one, I do believe. It's hard to see just ahead of us. So we can go avoid the jump there and keep going in to hold it tight. Keep pushing back with an analog stick to push the weight to the rear, so we can get more traction. As we now glide in the air, into the little bit of a water patch there, as Gautier Paulan went a little bit wide. Paulan could be losing 5th place on board the Yamaha. Bit of a mistake as well, almost went off the track once again. And now it's time for the tabletop part, as we push slightly back on the analog sticks. Not too much. Pushing backwards on both analog sticks, the left analog stick being the bike weight and the right is being the rider weight. I do like the idea of that on MXGP. I don't think it'd work very well for the likes of MotoGP and Ride 4, but it certainly works here in MXGP because the rider does a lot of moving on these bikes. And I think you're probably actually on the bike and sitting stable on the bike, probably not even 50% of this. It's so bouncy, it throws you everywhere. It's absolutely terrific, it really is. As now Jeremy Van Horbeek is getting away from Gautier Paulan. I think Paulan might be in our sights now. He's still a little bit further ahead of us. We are struggling to catch up to the guys at the front, so Clement de Sal has just taken the lead, and Cairoli fights back immediately, as that's going to probably rage on to the end of this Grand Prix. Race 1 here of Lommel, using every bit of this gas that we can. I think we're on the only gas currently in the top 10, so Glenn Coldenhoff certainly doing his best to keep up with the likes of Paulan, Mitchell Evans, Jeffrey Hurlings, and Jeremy Van Horbeek. Big jump there, careful not to touch the umpire on the side there, or the cameraman. Looks like an umpire, doesn't it? But it's the cameraman to the left, as a steward holds the yellow flag. Hopefully he uses that when necessary. Nice jump there. We are closing in. Now, I do find the second part of this track, we come alive. We managed to close in the gap. But the first part, we really struggle. So it's definitely a case of using what we have and hopefully taking this to our advantage. To chase down Gautier Paulin is a big mistake there. You've got to be careful here because obstacle gets avoided and you get rewinded straight back to where you were. To be fair, it didn't look like I was abusing too much of the track there, but if the game said so, then the game is right. As Clement Desal gets past Antonio Cairoli once again. Oh, a bit of everywhere there. Trying to balance this gas in these corners. Difficult stuff as the best lap of the race has been just decimated. It's now 1:45.772. Probably set by Clement Desal because it looks like Desal's even pulling away from Cairoli there. You can see that in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen when we were close enough on that particular corner. As Gautier Paulin looks to be holding on to 6th place unless something's going to happen up front. I think 7th place is where we are going to finish. And I tell you what, from 20th on the grid to 7th place, it's pretty decent. And it's certainly in the running to win the Grand Prix after all said and done. Of course, race 1 results will 17, probably net us around 15 points, something very close enough too if you're 7th place. Well, let's see if we can push forward and get Paulin. He's 1.5 seconds ahead up this very bumpy track. We are closing in very fast there, actually. Careful not to go off the track too much. You do get zoomed back straight to where you were if you do abuse the limits, of course, as we've seen just earlier. Frustrating when it happens, because sometimes it just chucks you straight back, but I'd rather cut the corner and then maybe slow it down and then get a reduced penalty or something like that. But I think it does work because otherwise people would just abuse it, especially online. It can be horrific. As we are closing in on Paulin, as we go off track again, they have to be really careful with doing that. Maybe into the sort of mini bumps we can go for it. Into those little hill parts. Here we go. Good stuff so far. Bouncing. We're closing right in on the Yamaha. Can we get through? We have done. Glenn Coldenhoff into 6th place. And Jerry Van Horbeek, maybe if there was a few more laps on this one, we could have caught up Jeremy Van Horbeek, but for the time being, Clement Desal wins race 1, and that is going to be a 6th place for Glenn Coldenhoff. Race 1 results are in. Clement Desal, Mitchell Evans, Tonio Cairoli take your podium. Jeffrey Hurlings, Van Horbeek and Glenn Coldenhoff take up to 6th place. Paulin, Yaskinis, Fevre and Paul Jonas finish off the top 10. No surprise from the Grand Prix results, pretty much the same as the Race 1 results. And now it's time for Race 2. Back at it once again. Grid Girl, 1 minute. Yes, we know the drill. Let's crack on. Waiting for the grids to drop. Glenn Coldenhoff in 6th place. We're going to try and battle our way through. It's going to be difficult, especially on this left-hander here, but we chop the nose off Paulin. We are through. Yes, whole shot. Coldenhoff, the first man into the first corner. Brilliant stuff. Actually, we already got a little bit of a lead there as we just put the bike sideways there. Got to be careful with doing that. Don't want to be doing that too often. As we now jump the big hill. Got to brake there, otherwise you will rock it into the stands if you don't give it a little bit of brake there. Chuck a bit of rear brake in if necessary. But you don't have to go full brake, of course. As we're now absolutely focused to try and win this Grand Prix. It'd be brilliant if we could win race 2. Of course, we can still win the Grand Prix itself if we manage to win this race 2, considering where we finished earlier. I think the points would accrue, so we would probably take enough to win this one, depending where Cairoli, Desal, Van Horbeek, Mitchell Evans, etc. finish. But good stuff so far from the man on the gas. Big jump coming up soon. Brilliantly done. Now try and get into the berm here. Nice one, and avoid the abusing the obstacle there, so good stuff that we didn't go off track. Pleased with that one. Same again here. And get ready for the tabletop section. Bump, bump, bump. Again, pushing backwards on the analog sticks, just gently, not all the way, but more or less there. I'll tell you what, we've got quite a gap. This is looking quite tasty. This should be a decent lap as well from Coldenhoff, considering that we're still getting used to this track. Still not quite getting used, not quite know it like the back of my hand, but we're getting there. You know, we know this track now, I would say, from doing about 4 laps currently. And then flying again. to do some more. Must say, I do really love this track. I think it's one of the best tracks in the game. I will be eager to do this one once again. Definitely enjoying this one. I do like the differences in bikes in MXGP. Oh, careful there, we almost went off into the outside of the track. I don't fancy doing that if that comes up again. Need to slow it down in that corner, just like we do here. So then we can flick it right. Oh, too much acceleration. Did you see the tyres spin? Oh my, well I guess you can't really see the tyres spin too much on this one, because the helmet cam doesn't give you that opportunity. But to be honest with you, third person cameras, that's I think I've said that in every single MXGP video so far, but the third person camera just doesn't really accurately depict anything. I was supposed to do, or I said to Whizbang I would probably chuck in a third person camera perspective, but honestly it's just so bad, I just don't bother. Just keep going with the helmet cam. It's the greatest. I must say that out of all the games that have helmet cam, MXGP nails it. The Ride 4 one's okay, but the ride doesn't look into the corners. Where the one in MXGP, it's really accurate. It feels natural. Sort of pick up and play sort of experience. I do find Ride 4 you have to really think about what you're doing. Absolutely nail these. Oh, until then, oh my goodness. Commentary curse almost killed Glenn Coldenhoff. Thank goodness he's okay. As we still have a massive gap, and it's still going to be a relatively decent lap. As the yellow flag has been waved there, someone's gone down. We didn't get a notification to see who it was, but someone's gone down, of course. As the best lap of the race was a 1:46.095 from someone behind. So that advantage we had is obviously disappearing somewhat. But it's fine for now, because we still have the race lead. Now, there's only 2 laps to the end. Pretty certain Glenn Coldenhoff can do the big time, and win this Grand Prix. Jaskinis in second, the man from Lithuania. As we like overshot the berm there, and someone, I think that's Jaskinis, is coming. Oh, he's coming, is he ever? He's charging. We're gonna have to be on our best behaviour now. No more mistakes, and defend like mad. Defend as much as we need to. It's only 0.8 of a second. Jaskinis is coming. What are we going to do? We're going to have to try and get away from him, or just prepare for the battle. Looks like he messed the jump up there, so we probably did take a couple of tenths back. So avoid the jump there and try and go for this tighter line. Not bad. You got to change it up every now and again. Try these different lines. You never know what's going to work, and you don't know what's not going to work. So you just have to try these things. Nothing in racing is guaranteed, except commentary carnage from myself. Humour and wacky commentary, yes, you can guarantee that from DrAce. But the race itself, Jaskinis is right there now. He is right on the rear of Glenn Coldenhoff. Gas, man being threatened, as he's going to do everything in his power now to defend against a very eager Jaskinis. Don't fancy Armina's trying to go through at some point. We're going to just try and defend for the final lap. Penultimate lap, decent. But is it enough? Did it tear him? Cairoli in 3rd place currently. That's where he finished in race 1. So he'll be looking for a 40-point finish if he managed to hold on to that one. Oh my goodness, Armina's Jaskinis is coming. He's getting closer and closer. Got to just defend everything gently over this one. We don't want to be overshooting it. That wasn't as gentle as we wanted it. But into this next berm, holding it right, and careful on this acceleration point here. Good stuff, we are pulling away a little bit. If the gap is over a second, then we should be fine, because the latter part of the track I'm pretty good at. So we should be okay. The gap is 1.9 seconds. Oh, wow. Either Jaskinis has had a mistake, or we are just absolutely flying. It does feel like we are going pretty quick on this lap. So maybe Glenn Coldenhoff is going to be taking a victory in style here, and preparing for another streak of wins, I hope. Oh yeah, Jaskinis must have made a mistake. He is down by quite a bit now. We didn't even see the gap. Either this is just amazing performance from Glenn Coldenhoff and DrAce, or Jaskinis has made a mistake. I'd like to think it was the beginning part, but I'm not sure. I think it might have been the latter. And we haven't even abused the track limits on this one. I'm really pleased with that. Getting better all the time. Oh my goodness, stop talking when I... Oh, I'm like desperate to give myself the commentary curse. in the live stream the other day, didn't it? But what a victory it's going to be for Glenn Coldenhoff. The blue plumage on the other side celebrates another DrAce victory, and that is one hell of a lap. Brilliant stuff from Glenn Coldenhoff. Race 2 in the history books. Coldenhoff wins with a Yaskinis Cairoli podium. Evans, Crevellin, Clement Desal, Jeffrey Hurlings, Gautier Parlan, Sean Simpson and Pauls Jonas finish your top 10. So the results are in. The Grand Prix of Lommel, Glenn Coldenhoff wins with Cairoli 2nd, Mitchell Evans 3rd and Clement Desal 4th. Aminas Yaskinis just missed out, but look at that. 4 riders all finished with 40 points. I'm guessing the fastest lap of the race, which was set by Glenn Coldenhoff in race 2, is the only reason that Glenn Coldenhoff won this one. That is phenomenal. That is bizarre as well. Absolutely brilliant. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching this Grand Prix of Lommel. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I shall see you next time. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.